Okay, so picture this. You are staring at your screen and you are just utterly frustrated, right? Because an artificial intelligence completely misunderstood what you wanted. You asked for a simple summary and it handed you this chaotic, rambling essay. Now, we usually blame the machine. We think, the technology just isn't quite there yet. But what if those frustrating everyday interactions are actually secretly training us for a profound shift in the future of work? What if AI isn't just a tool, but a simulator?
Think about how we actually talk to these systems every single day. We usually just toss a command at it, something like, analyze this report. It's quick, it's incredibly relatable, and honestly, it's laughably vague. And what happens when we use a prompt like this? The output is almost always mediocre, generic, and totally disappointing. We look at that result and think the AI failed us. But as we start to peel back the layers of this dynamic, a much more uncomfortable question emerges. Is it the AI that failed, or is this interaction actually revealing something about us?
Now, what's really interesting about this comparison is what happens when we change our approach. Instead of a vague command, imagine defining a highly specific role. You are an experienced hotel revenue consultant. We give it context, asking to analyze the last 12 months. We set standards by asking to identify exactly 3 opportunities, and we define the precise format, an executive summary. Suddenly, the output improves dramatically. And it makes you realize the bad output from before, it wasn't the AI's fault at all. It exposed our own unrefined communication and delegation skills. Because in the human world, poor managers give vague instructions and then get frustrated when the outcomes fall short.
This reveals something pretty wild that we might call the AI mirror. In a normal office environment, management weaknesses kind of stay hidden. A manager can blame employees can blame management, or everyone can just blame market conditions. But AI completely removes our ability to blame others for bad work. When an AI repeatedly misunderstands a task, the problem is not capability, it's communication. The AI acts as an invisible diagnostic instrument. It forces us to realize that our instructions, our definitions of success, and our clarity of thinking simply weren't as sharp as we believed they were. So if interacting with AI exposes our management weaknesses, what exactly happens when we try to actively improve how we use it?
Act 2. The Management Simulator. So if you look at popular frameworks designed to make us better at AI, like the Prime prompting framework, something really unexpected jumps out. Exploring this framework reveals that purpose in prompting, well, that's exactly what managers call strategic direction. Research is just situational analysis. Setting up the mechanics is process design, and providing examples maps perfectly to standards and training. The process doesn't merely resemble prompting, it literally is management. The better someone becomes at using AI, the more they are practicing the exact core managerial capabilities that traditionally take years to develop.
And here is where the mechanics get truly fascinating. Think about a brand new manager in a traditional office. They might delegate, maybe 5 meaningful tasks a day, and they wait weeks or even months for performance reviews to see if they communicated well. Misunderstandings remain largely invisible for a long time. But interacting with AI creates this hyper-accelerated loop. Delegate a task, receive immediate feedback, revise instructions, improve the output. An AI user can experience this loop dozens or hundreds of times per day. It functions exactly like a flight simulator for managers. Pilots don't learn solely by reading manuals, right? They learn through rapid, repeated simulation. And AI compresses the management feedback cycle in the exact same way.
Let's move to Act 3, from tasks to systems, and see exactly how this builds.
To really ground this, let's look at a real-world case study. Imagine a hotel revenue manager's journey. In Phase 1, they are deep in the weeds, doing the work entirely manually, pulling performance reports late at night, crunching endless rows of data, and producing recommendations relying purely on their own intuition. But to get AI to help them scale, they have to evolve. They enter Phase 2, where they are forced to document their decision rules, literally moving knowledge out of their gut and into a tangible process. By Phase 3, they stop analyzing individual dates altogether and start creating overarching frameworks and templates. Finally, they reach Phase 4. They are no longer spending their evenings manually analyzing reports. Instead, they spend their time evaluating AI outputs, refining decision logic, and building workflows. They have transitioned entirely from producing work to directing intelligence.
I want you to really notice the hidden management skills being practiced behind the scenes here. Teaching an AI literally forces human expertise out of our heads and translates it into explicit, documented standards. Organizations have struggled for decades with scaling expertise because it's usually locked away in a few key people's brains. But to use AI effectively, you have to define quality, you have to transfer knowledge, you absolutely have to practice systems thinking, which means shifting your focus from solving an isolated problem today to building a repeatable framework that solves the problem consistently tomorrow. And that shift, that is a defining characteristic of mature management.
Act 4. Managing Intelligence. Now, as we take a step back to look at this whole evolution, it really makes you wonder about the broader future of human organizations, right? And specifically, how we define leadership. It's really vital to hold a certain tension and ambiguity here. Managing AI is not the same as managing people. On one side, the mechanics of management, things like delegation, standard setting, systems design, are highly compatible with AI. But human leadership is entirely different. It requires empathy, trust, motivation, and conflict resolution. And AI does not experience fear, ambition, burnout, or office politics. This means a person could theoretically become brilliant at managing AI systems, mastering every single workflow while still failing spectacularly at leading human beings. Management and leadership are deeply related for sure, but as we can see, they are distinctly different. So, the crucial point is, how will organizations actually measure these distinct skills in the future? Well, we might see the rise of a speculative new metric, something called the AI Management Quotient, or AMQ. Traditional management assessment relies heavily on self-reporting. In an interview, organizations basically just ask, "Hey, what would you do in this situation?" But AI interactions create a permanent, verifiable record of what you actually did. Did you provide good context? Did you ask quality diagnostic questions? Did you improve the process after a failure? Future organizations might evaluate actual observed behavior, measuring our real ability to achieve results through coordinated intelligence.
Throughout history, management has always evolved. The industrial age was focused on managing machines. The information age was focused on managing data. But look at how the focus shifts in this new integrated ecosystem we are entering. The future manager's focus isn't exclusively on human workers, nor is it exclusively on artificial intelligence. It's a blend of both, alongside the continuous refinement of systems and standards. We are quite literally witnessing the birth of intelligence management. The core challenge is no longer just producing work yourself. It's about directing intelligence toward outcomes, wherever that intelligence happens to exist.
Which brings us right back to where we started. You're staring at a screen, utterly frustrated by a bad AI response. Only now, we have a much deeper perspective on what's actually happening. Those little chat boxes we interact with every day aren't just tools waiting for commands. They are diagnostic mirrors, reflecting our clarity, and they are hyper-accelerated simulators developing our management mechanics. So, I want to leave you with this to ponder. If the future really is about intelligence management, in your daily interactions, are you merely doing the work, or are you designing the systems that direct it?